What it do? It's your boy ELOOO, and we are finally back to it. As many of y'all probably done experience, because this situation is going around like crazy. The flu took me out last week. The flu is actually attacking my son right now. The flu done hit up everybody around me. I just had a thought this morning. I said, man, I'm gonna have to take me some disinfectant wipes to the shop. With that being said, shout out to Legit Cuts Barbershop. Y'all already know y'all can find me there on Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. You know, tap in with your boy. We got the schedule going. We're making it rock out. You know, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we is at Florida Student Cosmetology School, where we teaching the future barbers, cosmetologists, estheticians, nail techs, and everything else under the sun, how to get money under the sun the proper way, the real legit way, the real business way. So with that being said, shout out to the company that brings y'all these episodes each and every week. Kingdom Hair Products, available at Kingdom INC. I'll put it up there for y'all. Yeah, but Kingdom Hair Products, we got it out there, man. We got everything you need. You're more than just a beard company. We do have the beard butters, beard oils, the good smells for your face to help your hair keep growing luxurious and all beautiful and stuff. We do have the hair products, the hair balms, the hydrating hair mist, the hair growth oils, the shampoos and conditioners. Man, we got a full lineup. So, hey, with that being said, we moving right along with it. Y'all know how we get here, why we here. We here sipping that coffee. I got that hot mug, trying to get into my hot mode coming from off of the sickness. And I can't lie to you, man, I feel like I done unlock something, man. Feel like I still got something about to come up out of there or something. So, hey, man, I'm standing up on my vitamins, my elderberries, zinc, vitamin C, all of that good stuff. Just trying to stay healthy to be able to get on here and talk this good stuff with y'all, man. It's been a heck of a journey. Things going on right now. You know, I came on here to have a life talk, grown man talk, man to man, man to young man, man to young lady, however y'all want to see fit to take it in. That's what I came to do today. But before we do that, let's go to my first topic of the day. So yesterday I was watching the highlights from the draft, and for a minute now I've been telling y'all about the stationary quarterbacks. I've been talking about in today's time, and I've been saying this for like the last 5 to 8 years. So I've been saying in today's time, if you're not a dual threat quarterback, you just a pocket passer, you're outdated. Why? Yesterday was the simple example of it all. Yesterday was the first day of the combine workouts, in which they had the defensive line and linebackers working out. So, did y'all see the times? We had a guy that weighs 323 pounds run a 4.740. If you old daddy long leg, pop-eyed, curly head motherfucker who can't run, you just say height and stand in the pocket. Look from white sideline to white sideline and see a bunch of grass in the middle, and you don't never try to run and eat up that grass. Your time is up in football, brother, especially in the NFL. We got 300 pounders. No, 320, 313, 306. I seen all the members running under 5 flat. Running under a 5 flat in the 40. Shoot, they 10-yard shuttle was faster than most of these quarterbacks. So, again, if you are a quarterback that stands flat-footed in the pocket, don't ever use your legs. You might need to find you something else to play. You might need to gain you some weight and go to the offensive line. And then what I'm going to say to that too is, you might can't go there. You can't even transition to the O-line, man. The speed that is coming from these defensive players is to the next level. Okay, let's go to something The other day, I'm on a video game. I playing with Ohio State. Forgive me. You know, it is what it is. And the same thing I told my wife. It's funny as heck how these people do, EA do these teams. Miami beat Ohio State this year. But on that video game, Ohio State is almost unbeatable, bro. Like, okay, now let's go to why. Because they understood what Avior Reese and Sonny Styles been doing the last 2 years. Both of them gentlemen went to the combine yesterday and ran a 4.46. 4.47. Boy, that's almost a 4.3. That's what wide receivers and running backs used to be running. You telling me we got outside linebackers and middle linebackers running 4.4s, man? They ain't the first of the kind, but I'm telling you, it's many of them that's like this right now. Them two kids was on the same defense this year. A 4.46. Sonny Styles measured out at 6'4", 260. I got to stare you down on that one. 6'4", 260 running a 4.4. The man jumped to 43 something. Well, what is you doing? You know, back in the day, you used to be able to mess with big boys, run up on them, slap them in the head, you know, this type of stuff we used to do in our locker rooms. Forgive me if it's some outdated stuff. It is what it is. A lot of stuff we did growing up is outdated, and we now know that, especially coaching football now. It was we outdated, and we was in the barbaric times, brother. But back in the day, you used to be able to run up to a big joker and just, I'm talking about take the skin off the back of his neck. Take off running. Blow him for about 10, 20 yards. Nowadays, I think you need to think a little deeper before you go and do something like that to these big fellas. But they doing a flexibility test at the combine. Brother laid back on his back, rocked his toes till they hit the floor, spread his legs all the way out like he did a split. Man, these boys big, flexible, and fast. It's a new day. It's a new day. Now I got another question amongst all of that. You know, we've had a couple players and a couple people in the last couple of days, you know, commit suicide. You know, we came here to this point, but last year with the Karen Lacey situation, and we now have the updated information on that. Rest in peace to Karen Lacey, and peace and blessings to your family, your mother, your brother, your dad, the whole family. Man, may God continue to put a loving hold in that spot in their heart where they got a void at. But we lost a rapper cat. As y'all do know, I do music, so mental health within the musicians, mental health within sports, mental health in general. If I am an advocate for it, to make sure that you out here talking to people, to the right people, making sure that you're getting the proper help, not just going to some therapist that don't even listen to what you got going on. And the first thing that they do is throw you on some type of medication. And all of these medications, if you watch TV, these medications have side effects. Most of the time when I hear a commercial and they talking about mental health medicines, the medicines present more side effects than the actual problems that you're having. So that's why I say, man, make sure that you reaching out and speaking to somebody that's capable and able and compassionate enough to really help you in situations like that. Because these kids go from this to this to this to this so fast. Heck, I'm looking at these young high school players right now, and this was my first year coaching high school football, and I got to see the process from the start of the season back in June to the end of the season to right now that we in track almost at the end of a school year. Almost all of the seniors that I came in and met and then gained this great love for, man, being around them young men, you have no choice but to gain a love for them, or you just a hater, one or the other. But I gained a great disdain love for them and want to see these kids get to the next spot and understanding how time pressured those little 4 years is in high school. That equals up to the first step of mental health for a young man becoming a grown man. I'm kind of, right now, I'm going to shift a little bit. I'm going to come back to the mental health from where I was going from the NFL to the high school. I'm going to bring it all together so y'all just stay with me. Because this is something that has to be said to these young men. that's attempting to go to college or the military or anything of such, understand this first. Age don't make you a man. Just because you turn 18, 19, 20, 21 doesn't mean that you are a man. Understanding the responsibilities and the accountability that a man withholds, that a man carries, is what makes you a man. Understanding that when something is needed to be done, that you will be the person that is being looked at for it to be done. When something is needed to be upheld, you are the person that they will look at to uphold it. So before you say I'm a man, this and that, you got to understand what is the standards, what is the outlook on it. Because as a man, okay, now we swing it back around. As a man, we got to have our mental health into a certain level, because who the fagos getting pointed at? Who they looking at to be the one to change the atmosphere? I said this a while ago and it stick in my head. I said, once you become a man, you should be able to be put in the role of leadership at some point to help somebody up under you get to the next level. But if you ain't working on your mental health and you ain't working on your insides and you just walking around as a damaged good, as a damaged human being, as a damaged person, only thing that you can do is lead the next person to their demise. It goes back to the old saying, blind leading the blind. So when you're young, you need to be working to understand what a man is. You need to understand the accountability traits that it takes to be a man, because you will be in the role of leadership at some point. Now, let's talk about what I was going to about it and why I even talked about that. A lot of these young men are into a suicidal state because the accountability is being set forth from the lack of conscious decision making. The lack of conscious decision making. These young men, these young ladies are making adult decisions, adult choices, and then when the consequences from behind them come back, they can't deal with it. I'm not saying that's what happened with the young rapper or the young football player, and I didn't say his name. That's Rodell Moore, one of my favorite players that's out there right now, man. I do sports gambling, so I will say it. I done made a lot of money with Rodell Moore. They normally had his stats up on Hard Rock for him to get, 10 yards, 14 yards. That man was doing that on drag routes. He was fast, blazing. The man was shifting, moving. Probably was a 4.2, 4.3 runner. One of them guys that I was just speaking on. Yeah, a freakish athlete. Went through 2 major surgeries. And just, I can't speak on what he was feeling and what he was going through because I haven't got the updates on it. And that's why I just send my peace and blessings to your family, man. And I just send my peace and blessings to who all is impacted by your decision. But I do know as a man, that's what that was, a decision. And these young men need to understand that. That's a decision that's made. And once you make that decision, there is no coming back. I remember when I was younger, we go through life, man. So those type of thoughts gonna cross your head, but you got to understand, again, doing your homework and researching to the top level, high caliber men will help you understand that that's normal. But to actually do it is abnormal. I remember researching situations and I ran into this guy on the internet. The guy is a motivational speaker today. He once tried to commit suicide and he jumped off the San Francisco Bridge over there in California. And the man said as soon as he jumped, he didn't want to jump no more. But he was mid-air already. And he hit that water and lived. Broke almost every bone in his body, destroyed some organs, but he lived. He's still alive. He's talking on it. He's speaking on it. He's still alive. So I used to be one of them young cats that didn't think I was going to live past a certain age. To be honest with you, I didn't think I would see 21. I'm glad I did because that's when I had my son. That's when life really changed for me. So when I was younger, teenage days, I used to say I wasn't going to make it to see 21. So this is my question to you youngsters that's teenagers and young men that's 20, 21 to 25, and that's just impacted by the whole YN culture, or thinking that is a fad to be in the streets or whatever, because it is. And I'm gonna tell you, that fad that got so oversaturated, the prisons is overpacked to the next level. Yeah, is that fad, that trend, whatever you want to call it, that got so oversaturated, prisons ain't really got no more spots for you. But guess what? They're gonna continue to load you in the hog pen. But this my question to you. What if you live past all that? What if you do make it into your 30s? What if you do make it to 25? What if you do make it to 21? What if you do make it to 19? Can you live with the consequences that's gonna come from your actions of I don't care, I don't give a F, all of that type of stuff? I said this to my son and recently, and I told him, I said, you probably will hear a lot of people walk around school saying F this, F that, oh, I don't care. It is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. I said, and I can promise you, within the next 6 months after them statements is made, because nine times out of 10, when that statement is made, it's followed by a reckless action. It's followed by an action that's going to require a consequence that most likely that person that said, F it, I don't care, well, it is what it is, whatever happens, happens. Most likely, after that statement is made, it's going to be followed by consequences that that person cannot handle. You think life is bad now, young man? Okay, scenarios, we coaching scenarios. I had a young man that was getting into it with his moms or whatever. His mom's a single parent, got multiple kids, and the kid was going at the mom in a light that we know for a fact that he's young and don't understand the next level of adulthood, don't understand the level of the responsibility that a man has, the accountability that a man has. So therefore he was lashing out in a different way. And and the mom was trying to tell him, you still a kid, you don't understand. The young fellas, what they don't understand is this here. Consequences are directly from the actions that you set for. What happens if you live past the worst decision you ever made and you got to deal with the consequences? Living reckless, thinking reckless, that's common nature when you're a teenager and you're going through it. That's common nature when you don't understand what you're going through. You don't understand that your mama giving everything that she can to you because the consequences of how she was raised, the consequences of the decisions she made or that they made. You don't understand when you get a certain age, your hands can literally get tied together, and it ain't got to be by that steel metal that's taking you to jail. You can have that steel metal from life got you incarcerated in your own house. Whoop, 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 whoop. That boy think he went to preaching just then. I'm gonna keep switching gears and keep jumping around on y'all, but we still here. We still talking about the same old what we was talking about from the beginning. We still talking about it. I said I was going to come on here and speak on those things in the light form, but once I got to talking about it, I understood that I needed to talk about actions to consequences. Actions to consequences. Do you know in the courthouse, young men, young teenagers, whatever you want to call it, they can't be sentenced to life in prison in the state of Florida, at least in the state of Florida. And we one of the harshest judicial systems out there. You got us, Georgia, Texas. Ain't nobody messing with us. We were country. You heard me? We were country to the point that, yeah, ain't nobody messing with us when it comes to consequences within them courtrooms and stuff. So here in Florida, as a young man, as a young teenager, you can't be sentenced to life because they say that little development in the front of your head right here ain't developed yet. That don't happen until you about 21 to 25 years old. So I do understand when them kids be like, F it, I don't give a doggone. Their brain ain't even fully developed yet. So as a parent, as a parent, as the person who has all the responsibility and accountability in the house. You got to understand that. And you got to understand that these are the lessons that you must be teaching to your kid now. Shout out to my mama. Mama, shout out to you, mama. I love you, woman. Dad, lady, let me tell you something. I was rebellious. I was mischievous. I was everything that you could be as a teenage boy, being raised by a single mom whose dad was in prison or on the streets their whole life. Yes, I on my song, I got a song out there on the web. It's the mama song. It's the mama song. And I said some things that I wish I had it. We all done been mad and arguing and yeah, all that different stuff. And you trying to cut deep because you mad. But you don't understand the responsibility that's on the table. I seen the post yesterday and they had Rihanna with a cigarette with a hand on her head, like thinking. And at the bottom it said, "Now I see why mama needed that chicken thawed out." Mama responsibility is to go to work, make the money, come home. Hopefully the kids that did they part by at least just taking the chicken out the freezer, putting it in the sink, letting it thaw out. So when she get home, she can cook a meal for everybody can eat. Then she can do her regular routine, take her bath, get ready for the next day to redo the same old thing over and over. Why? Because it's got to be a consistent pattern to make this operation go the way that it needs to go. Stuff that you don't think about when you're young. Stuff that only thing you're thinking about when you're young is what's going on in your personal life. And your personal life ain't making nobody else's life keep going. Your personal life when you a teenage boy, teenage girl, your little cell phone business, your little video game business, your little business of anything that you got going on, boyfriend, girlfriend, homeboy, whatever, that ain't keeping the lights on in the house, brother. So your parents don't care none of that now. Your personal relationship with your girlfriend or your homeboy don't help do nothing in the household that we need as essentials. So what you feel is real ain't real, young man. And that's why I say from the beginning, oh, there we go, swinging that corner back. We done ran around the goddamn block. Now we back at the start of the block. Yeah. You ain't no man just because you turn 18, 19, 20, 21. When you start making manly moves and handling manly responsibilities and handling manly situations in a manner that you can help the next person become something more than what they is, now we talking about man stuff. Now we talking about grown woman stuff, because there's some big girls out here. Hey, I had a teacher named Miss Corn in barber school. She's all the girls you coming there with all that wine and stuff again. I got to bounce and feel it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me jigging on the thing. You heard me? Yeah. Miss Corn used to tell her like this here. Put your big girl panties on. Hey, we talking about put your big girl panties on, all that whining and crying and complaining you doing. If you're a grown up, you got to handle stuff like a grown up. You understand that whatever your actions is got consequences to it. If you ain't backing down for nothing, we standing 10 toes with it. You heard me? Nah, they ain't heard you. You know why they ain't heard you? Because they don't want to hear you. Accountability is too much for some people. Me? Well, what do you say? As for me and mine, I'm 10 toes behind it. You hear me? Yeah. Let's switch it up, man. It's been a beautiful morning, man. I'm glad y'all came in and chopped it up with me, man. And like I said, when I don't get on here with y'all, it rubbed me wrong, man. This morning I said I'm gonna get up, play the video game. Yeah. Like I was just telling y'all, I've been playing with Ohio State on there, and I must tell y'all the truth. I done won 25 games, ain't lost one. If I need to put the proof up, all you got to do is write me and tell me that I'll put the proof up. I done won. And I'm talking about online. I ain't talking about my dynasty. I ain't talking about road to glory or something. I can change the setting zone to make it fit me or none of that. I'm talking about online. Online. And see, now, okay, now switching gears, bam. We done held our first portion. Y'all can write in, give me some more questions. Y'all can follow up. Y'all already know. And while we 24 minutes in, almost to that 30-minute mark, let me go ahead and let y'all know. We are available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts now. Just type in your boy ELOOO name. It's going to come up with my music. It's going to come up the podcast. Sip this coffee, baby. Sip this coffee with ELOOO, you heard me? We is on Apple Podcasts and we is on Spotify Podcasts. You also can go to Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Deezer, whatever the heck you can find music on, and you can type in ELOOO. ELOOO, where you will find solo music from me, plus music from my group, plus music from individuals that I felt like was some of the top artists in this area, and I made some great songs with them. Hey, y'all go check it out, man. That's all I'm gonna tell you like this here. But next pillar to point before I get on up out of here. It say, coaching these young men to correlate sports to real life. If you communicate with your coach, you will be able to communicate with your boss or maybe your employees. Maybe you will be the head guy at a business somewhere. Maybe you will be the guy at the Fortune 500 club doing their thing, teaches, people answering to you and yours. That's why we must go back to the beginning of what we started this with. You must understand what your responsibilities are. Huh? Man, we in the goddamn building, man. We in the goddamn building, man. This your boy ELOOO, we rocking out. And I'm gonna leave y'all with one more thing before I get up out of here. I had it set aside. I'm gonna find it. Hey, the setup getting better. Hey, you see the little family of elephants. My wife loves elephants. I love them too. Her disdain love for elephants that made me fall in love with elephants, especially when you go and do your research on the meaning behind elephants. It's only suitable for it to sit behind me while I sip this coffee and talk that good life to y'all, man, because that's all we trying to do, man. I swear on everything. Yesterday I was in the weight room with them jits, and I call them jits because they young. They still got a lot of, what they say, you still got a lot of milk around your lip. You heard me? Yeah. They still got a lot of milk around their lip. Mess around with me. Deep. You heard me? ELOOO. 3 O's, baby. That's how we go. I get a jolt of joy being around them jits. You know why? Because they the future, man. And I ain't just saying that to say it, they the future. And with the right leadership around them, it's a bright future. But if we continue to let these young men walk around and find their own way and, think that what they seeing on the internet and all that there is real, it'll be a dark future. And you can't have a dark future. You can have a dark future that don't end up being too long, brother. You got to pay attention to see what's really going on, man. You got to look at what they say. Anything of true existence will have proof to it. I said this a while ago, and I'm gonna say it again. I said, young fellas, you want to figure out how to map out your adult life? Just start looking around. I had an old head tell me like this here. Shout out Marlon Williams, man. He say, look, the 3 L's. Look, listen, and learn. Look first, observe, listen, and learn. You can't learn until you look and listen first. There's rules to it. You understand? Is ways to get to the plan, man. Is ways to set the plan and get to the goal of the plan. Yeah. Look, listen, and learn. Okay, from my spiritual religious people who was raised like the old school days where your grandma and them used to make you go to church and everything, biblical ways. What them old folks say? If God wanted you to talk more than he wanted you to listen, he would have gave you 2 mouths instead of 2 ears. So that means you need to start observing more. Young fella, young lady, look at the adult life. And I ain't talking about somebody who been doing whatever they doing for a year or 2. No. Look for the longevity within their life and have them tell you what it is. I want you to look at their life, look at the longevity, and I want you to look at their life and point out what is it is that you would want. What it is out of your life that you would want to live out with them. And with that said, man, we about to rock out and get the day started, man. Like I told y'all can catch me at the barbershop today. We downtown Legit Cuts Barbershop. Y'all can find these episodes. I'm going to continue to unleash the episodes. Y'all already know we got over 30-something, 40-something episodes up on YouTube. I still got all the podcasts from Junior Third with me and my boy Jose sitting down interviewing some of the most interesting people in St. Lucie County, some of the most positive, influential people in St. Lucie County, because all they like to highlight around here is all the dumbest that's doing doing dumb stuff. You heard me? And we ain't doing that, man. That's why we on Sip This Coffee, giving knowledge to these young men, giving knowledge to these young ladies, giving knowledge to these grown men, giving knowledge to these grown women, because it's needed out here, man. If we get out here and we have a full thread of people just putting out that good stuff, what you think gonna take over? We need to know people to stop being so scary to beat on their chest like the goddamn gorilla out here, you heard me? But so, because if not, you can't complain about the atmosphere that we living in. Yeah. Start calling them weak jokers out for all that weak stuff that they doing around these kids, letting these kids think that it's easy and it's cool to do that weak stuff. I understand what accountability and responsibility is. Jets. We in the building, man. It's been a beautiful morning. We done rocked out a 30-minute session on fun. You heard me? Just dropping knowledge on y'all. Like I told y'all, man. I always say it before we leave. Put a smile on your face so you can put a smile on somebody else's face, and we can make the world a better place. Then I'm going to start leaving y'all with this. This episode of Sip This Coffee was brought to you by Kingdom Hair Products. Kingdom. Get right, man. We in the building, man. It's been a pleasure rocking out with y'all. This your boy ELOOO, and y'all know how I go. I hope y'all have a great day, great weekend. I may be back on with y'all this weekend from a set location, but it is what it is, man. Hey, peace and blessings to everybody out there. Like I always end with it too. I always say 1 finger, 2 fingers. Peace.